Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Supreme Ruler 2020 as Vietnam. It has been in-game at least, a little way over a year now since the last video, and our economies have recovered greatly. Population is still growing, GDP's gone way up. I did try to kind of reduce inflation, but that really didn't quite help in the long run, as the economy just, in the treasury at least, plummeted a lot. But that's been recovered, and I have been building a lot of industrial agriculture, what have you. As you can see, as I select the facilities, we currently have over 1,269 farms with 243 more being built. Hydroponics has been greatly increased to 224 with 55 under construction. Water reclamations, we only have 34 right now with 3 more still being built. Waterworks, over 99 are pretty much spread out with 13 more being built. Timber, over 400 mills have been built. I'm not planning to build any more yet. Petro, as we're no longer in the problem of the demand, but I have now over 183 oil wells, or gas fields, whichever you can say, with 32 being built. Biofuel, over 218 with 9 more being built, but the biofuel is, after all, a product that requires, well, food, whether it's regular farms or hydroponics, and the demand did skyrocket a bit, so that's why I'm building more and more farms. More food for everybody, but also for fueling the need for biofuels. Oil derricks, nothing's changed, even though there is a greater amount of patch here that I could build oil derricks, but they do take a long time to get built, and are expensive. At least $2 billion and $400 million at least. Or wait. Whatever. Yeah. Somehow I got that mixed up for some reason. Coal mines, well, right now it's 233 different mines everywhere, since I have to keep building more just to stay ahead of the demands. Metal ore, over 130 mines been built with 10 more still under construction. Composite ores, over 49 with 9 more being built. Uranium, it's 54, as I did found that there were 3 other patches that I missed somehow, but that's pretty much it. There are no other patchworks that I could mine, although looking from up here there is actually one spot, but it's right over these ore mines. I could replace it, but well, somehow I don't know how I missed this, but I guess I could try. Or wait, let's look at the top view. Looking again, yeah, there is actually one more spot that I also missed. How I missed that, I don't know. So I may have to remove some of these ore mines. So a slight reduction of mining ore, but that's the price to pay. Electrical power, as you can see, is still a problem despite the massive stock we have. But I have now over 139 hydro plants with 36 more being built, as they do take a long time to be built. Oh, and the payments. St. Petersburg was paying us about 76 something million dollars for several days, but unfortunately are bankrupt and still continue sabotage missions. I currently have 25 nuclear power plants with only 1 more being built, as since we don't have that much uranium, it's something I gotta be careful about. And only 1 small nuclear power plant somewhere. Other power sources, we have 72 with 41 more being built. Those are still gonna take a long time to be built anyway. 30 petrol power plants, and the number of coal power plants has been slightly reduced, as I'd rather try and get the, pollution factor down a little bit. Consumer goods, Still have these mids that I built long ago, and they're still going to remain. But for consumer, over 153 facilities have been built, with 27 more under construction now. Industrial is pretty much a lot. 284 active, with 120 still under construction. But I might decide to build even more somewhere. That still kind of depends though. Military goods, well, not really much in numbers, as only 66 are active, with 20 more under construction. As for our military, however, well, for the Army, with 27 deployed, over 1,234 reserve, so it's pretty massive now. Air Force, 331 reserve, with only 4 other aircraft deployed. Ships for our Navy, 245 ships, along with 1 small patrol ship deployed, so that's also growing and large. Oh, and all 3 of my battleships, if I could find them, there they are finished and are reserved. One is in Shanghai, the other is over, well, here, next to Haiphong, and the other is in our newly acquired territory, in the seaport of Yangon. So those are going to be my prized warships at the moment, and the most expensive, so I would not be building anymore, as a 4th battleship would be nice to just deploy up here somewhere, whether it's in Dalian or even this new port. Probably Dalian, but they do take over, what was it, 2 years to build in this game, at least in this game's prediction. So that's a problem. I also got a lot of research done, but we are nowhere near close enough to leveling up, since we are only spending $3 million, which is a bit something I can't figure out, unfortunately, on my own, since I would like to get the tech up so that we can research more stuff. Most technologies will not be unlocked unless you are a certain tech level, but our neighbors have several technologies that they have, but as you can see, in this case, the naval defense is level 92, metal storm 103, coal gasifications level 90. In Japan, they too have a lot of stuff that's pretty high tech as well. Korea as well, which for whatever reason they have a cost ability against us, and the people are concerned. Why? I don't quite know. I don't know if it's because of our sabotaging in Cambodia or our massive military buildup. But even if war for whatever reason breaks out, for any reason, I will have to admit the Korean army looks pretty formidable. A lot of engineers and a lot of the K2 tanks. And that's quite a lot. Oh, and Eastern Siberia and Central Siberia are bankrupt. Sucks to be them. Mongolia is fine. This nation's fine. Tibet is recovered greatly. India is still at war with Bangladesh being cut off from the Indian Ocean. And, oh right, they build a lot of farms and hydroponics here, so it's quite a change. And a few other facilities here as well. Back on the homeland, of course, as you can see, it's completely getting filled up with a lot of stuff being built to produce what we need. Same with most parts of China, as I also did build, well, I can't really memorize, but remember where. But even if I turn off the supply overlay, I have been building a lot of railways to connect to each and every somewhat isolated villages and towns and whatnot. We have several more still recently being built right now. So I'll put the supply overlay back, and that's pretty much the way it is. And I still keep getting a lot of offers from the other nations, Most are surprisingly generous. Most are, I guess I could say cheap. That's pretty much the way. Oh, and I did forget about missile production. Still, we're still producing a lot right now. The total, if I recall where to find, to even know, is here. At least I think so. Only deployed is 58, but we have over 6,529 missiles. Just sitting around doing nothing. All these I'm just not gonna bother. Everything else is just as they are. Same goes for global rules of engagement. No change other than this, which will be normal. Speed normal, initiative low, contact options avoid. I'll leave that alone. Loss tolerance, that's just the way it is. All units will accept auto-deployed missiles, which which is already active, so so that everybody's gonna automatically be equipped with any missiles in case of war. Regular approach, capture enemy land if they need to. Opportunity for attack any enemy, and of course available for my defense minister to order whatever they want. So nice. Oh, and there's the unit pathing, which I will never activate to just cross in territory to start a war. That would be nice to do, just enter Cambodia's lands with no reason whatsoever. But I'm not gonna bother. Oh, and for research, as I said, all the other stuff we had is research, including every single design. But right now, we're trying to research the hope of gaining nuclear weapons, which is strongly opposed by the public and the world. But come on, we are a superpower now. You have a right to defend ourselves, right? Whatever. Research efficiency, I will have to increase that to 90% now, since this is gonna take a while. Technology level is slowly making its way, going up, but this is still a bit annoying. Trades are still fine. Oh, and I forgot one more thing. Satellites. Because since the last video, I have managed to launch over 5 communication satellites with another being built. And I could just keep queuing up maybe 3 more. And only 1 reconnaissance, as well, it is a bit more expensive. It takes a bit longer to build. Missile defenses, we don't have a research for that though. So there's nothing I can do about that. Everything else is just fine. Spies are everywhere. I have also increased salaries for the military to max as our reserves have shrunk. Maintenance and training is as high as I can allow. And that's pretty much about it. Approval rating is 40%, GDP and everything else is going good. Treasury has gone back down a little bit. That's fine. Although right now, Hong Kong does have a rather impressive navy, since most of their other ships are down here. Why? I'm not so sure. And, oh right, I did bring back that trapped, damaged patrol ship that's been stuck out here since the beginning of this LP, it seems. Was it the beginning? I don't know. I really don't know. The Philippines haven't done much. Taiwan, not a whole lot as well, other than their units here getting stuck all the time. Not even their territory up here, there's not much change. On occasion, there are a few Japanese units that cross through my territory. For whatever reason, I don't know. Right now, though, there's a South Korean ship, including another South Korean transport here. For whatever reason, I don't know. And in fact, that they have a justification to go to war with us if they want to, but we're allies, even if reluctantly. I really don't know why exactly they have this problem, as the DEFCON keeps increasing all the time. And now I got a quantitative order. Thank you, I'll accept. Well, there is another nation to think about, which is England, who unfortunately is bankrupt. Even with the aid I sent them off camera during the time skip months back, which didn't really help them, unfortunately, so there's nothing I can do. It's barely recovering, there's nothing they can provide, and that's interesting to see some Scottish units here. Wars are still going on, such as South Germany and Milan still going at it, and neither side delivering the killing blow. Poland and Kaliningrad are still at war. Kaliningrad's kind of bankrupt, but they were always close. They were always close to capturing Warsaw, but they always get pushed back, and now they seem they're trapped. Now I got Egypt to now accept. War for East Germany is a slow progress. Moscow, on occasion they were losing a lot of territory, but now it seems that they're fighting back, since due to the extended territory that they have, which is still a bit unbelievable. Nothing else going on here. In Africa, the nation of Burkina Faso is still around, surprisingly. Elsewhere, Ethiopia, not looking good. They did regain some territory, but once again, they getting pushed back. How long they're gonna last is still something I'm not so sure about. Still, Somalia has grown in size. Kenya as well. Eritrea especially has grown. Sudan, only a few patchworks of territory. Elsewhere, there really isn't much. Angola is at war with several nations, but not the Congo Democratic Republic, since they're allies, which is a first. And that's it. There's no expansion in war anywhere else in Africa. South America, on the other hand, Paraguay has gained a tiny amount of land. Don't know why they didn't get this land since Argentina took it. The Argentinians have grown in size, same with Uruguay. But Brazil is a large country, so it's not going to fall that easily. And as for North America, well, the war in Mexico has been nothing but a standout, despite, as seen here, Texas has gained this amount of territory. But that area, whatever units that are stuck here are, well, stuck. Texas's economy has shrunk a lot, Arizona as well. Mexico is still strong, surprisingly. California, on the other hand, quite bankrupt. It's not much now, but it was bankrupt by over $2 billion. And of course, Colorado, that just now has been conquered. So, May 1st is the day Colorado finally falls in this unusual mishmash of Texan, Oklahoma sorry to anybody from Oklahoma, and Kansas getting a little territory. So this is a bit of an odd patchwork. Oh, and Oklahoma's bankrupt as well. Actually, almost every nation almost several nations in North America are bankrupt. Maryland, Virginia, who else? Georgia, Mississippi, Louisiana, and I think that's about it for the states that... Oh, wait, Washington. Forgot about that. Now, who else? Alaska, British Columbia, nope. Just to check, this nation, Northwest Territory, has got a bit of a tiny amount of money left in their treasury. That's Manitoba, not really. Ontario, Nunavut, Quebec is still strong. And as for here, Nova Scotia is bankrupt. Who else? Vermont is close to becoming bankrupt. Connecticut, New York, That's about it except, yeah, that's about it. So it's been nothing but Nunavut just became bankrupt. That sucks. Iceland is still not bankrupt due to the amount of trade I guess they have. Yeah, they have a lot of different outlets for trade after all. Okay, so that's about it. The UN Protectorate, there's no change whatsoever. Not even the Pacific. Australia, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, East Timor, Greater Malaysia. And that's pretty much about it. Still, I'm not so sure if war breaks out between us and India. That will be interesting, I guess. Especially to see what amount of territory we can gain. Primarily through here. And probably connect this to a new road. Conquering this amount of territory up here. Blocking off Indian reinforcements from here. But also make sure no other Indian ships are going to be here to land any more troops. Whereas that's probably where my battleship will come in to sink these ships. And most of the Indian Navy before my battleship might get too damaged and sunk. If that happens. Now, as for beating India, I don't know, since there's an enormous amount of cities and metropolises around the capital of New Delhi, so that would be a problem. Well, what division will there be? Probably a certain portion here would be under Bangladesh. Mostly on this side would be under Pakistan. The rest, I guess, would be under our control. Well, Sri Lanka actually is a different story, as... Well, speaking of Sri Lanka, they are getting bombarded, but I don't see any troops landing. Why is there a bridge here? I don't quite remember. But if a war did break out, I guess Sri Lanka will get the southern half. Maybe. Maybe, I don't know. The same with Indonesia, that might gain these islands. Here, on India itself, I don't know if that would be the case. I mean, I wish I could join the war, but we do not have a casus belli, despite the disproving and outrage. The only way to do that is to probably break all ties. I could do, but that's gonna be a problem with any of the non-aligned nations, such as Bhutan and everybody else, even Pakistan as well. Although diplomatically satisfied with us, we are diplomatically concerned. The people are indifferent, but their people are disapproving. Still don't know why that's the case. Probably due to the research of nuclear weapons, I guess. I don't know. So, there really is nothing to do. I mean, like I said, I wish I could join the war against India. But, as you can see, we do not have a single amount of casus belli to go to war in the first place. Payments overdue with us, that's once again understandable for St. Petersburg. But there's nothing we can do. Yeah, really nothing we can do. Still, at least everything's somewhat going okay for us. Treasury's gone down a little bit again. Social spending is 75%. I'll just maintain that. Taxes are 26%. But I might try reduce just a bit to 25%, just a bit, or increase to 27%. Afterwards, I will reduce back to 26%. It's a bit of a roller coaster. It's a bit of a roller coaster ride for the balancing of the economical headaches. Now, in the meantime, though, it's annoying to see Central Siberia and Eastern Siberia now bankrupt. And the fact that the AI most of the time just keeps building up their armies and you just never see any productivity. On occasion, perhaps you might see productivity being built up, but most of the time, that's not happening. No matter which nation you are, and Japan has a pretty massive army and navy and air force here, or self-defense force, whichever way politically correct. Taiwan's air force is massive. Okay, what do you want, South Korea? Or Korea, I mean, sorry. It's a united Korea now. Blah, 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 blah. I'll accept. Hopefully that might... Hopefully, perhaps, slowly, that they might not have this raging reasons to dislike us. Who knows? It's now May 6, 2026. Everything's fine. I better check a few things, such as here, the usual loading errors. Annual predictions. Immigration, 6 million people. Over 6 million people. Immigration, 1.5 million people. Births, 30 million. Deaths, 20 million. Literacy is 97%. Tourism is 52. It's nice to know. Change in subsidy rating. That's nice to see this increase every time. Trades. Nothing much with our allies. United Nations membership. We are still a member. We have to give an annual fee of $85 billion. But everything's fine, even though the UN funds is a bit of a problem right now. Regional overview. This will, of course, disappear. And religion is something I'm still not so sure, because looking at most of my neighbors, they usually have a very high percentage every time, but us? The highest is Buddhism, and it's only 9.5. Second is Roman Catholic. Third is Indigenous, and the tied fourth is Protestant and Sunni Muslim. So that's something I'm a little confused as. With such a huge territory, you'd think maybe Buddhism might be our top, or anything else close, slightly higher than this, but it's not the case here. Unless that's because we are a communist nation. I don't know. Because compared to, like, say, Taiwan, Buddhism is the highest. Everything else is a bit of a mix. In Korea, it's somewhat the same, but most of the time it's other religions. Japan, highest is Buddhism. Eastern Siberia, it's kind of small. It's kind of like us right now. But most of the time it's other Christians, it seems. But still, it's a bit surprising to see this, at least the religious factor, of such a tiny amount. At least from my point of view. Although, I did check every country when I can during the time skip, and for some reason I couldn't figure out where the hell this religion's from. I figured it might be African, but no matter which nation I looked, nobody has this. This one, Hindu, obviously India, seems obvious. No religion on your hand. That's something I never seen. That's something I've never seen before. Let alone anybody has no religions anyway for most of the population, or anything else. What can you do? Well, it's May 9th. I'll continue to May 10th, and then I'll end this video. Just as a small update, as while we were just looking around, checking everything, including statistics, which I will check. Because as you can see, we are the richest nation. Second is only India, but not by much. GDP, the highest is known for its territory. Population-wise, it's kind of close between us, Vietnam, and India. It's pretty close. Here, Tech level rating, Texas and Japan are the most advanced. We are all the way down here somewhere. Wait, did I just miss? No, I missed. We are 87. Yeah, I skipped over. So yeah, we're over here. Casualties is we are at the top. Losses, kills, seems obvious. Land loss is also the top. And oh, it's now May 10th. Let's continue on. We're the highest in production of everything for the military. Not gonna bother this. Territorial size, Central Siberia is the largest. Second Australia, third Brazil, and yada yada yada. Subsidy rating for the UN. We're close. We're just below. We are way below South Korea. You gotta keep remembering, it's United Korea now. Ethiopia 6.2, and the only ones that don't have a subsidy rating is Moscow and Brazil. Alright. As for this, political leaning, supporting voters, I don't know. Oh, and there was a voting, but I seem to have forgotten. But we still, I think we won. I didn't bother checking everything, so I may have missed out. Japan's own government, however, lost, unfortunately for them. Korea, I never did bother checking, so I was too busy building up everything, just waiting and just walking away from the computer and let everything be built up. So I don't know if the local government. I really don't. Yeah, I really don't know whether or not the local government won, or if this is actually a different government. That's probably the reason why they hate us now. I don't know. But hope you enjoyed this. And I'll probably do another time skip, probably another in-game year, perhaps. So, well, who knows? And of course, my own question of whether or not if war with India is possible. But as I said, no possibility, or yeah, no possibility. We can't go to war. Nothing we can do about that. So, well, I'll probably figure out in the time skip and just keep building up wherever I can so the economy would remain as it is. But hope you enjoyed this and see you again in the next episode.